In Psalm 66, we have a testimony of a man who's been through the mill, and yet he has come through and he is singing for joy. And when he was under the pressure of the particular trial that he was experiencing, he was tempted to compromise, tempted to find a devious way to solve his own problem. But he resisted that temptation and held on faithfully, looking to God to answer. And so he starts, shout for joy, all the earth, give glory to him. Praise his name, his glorious name. Say to God, how awesome are your deeds. In this psalm, the psalmist is reflecting on the fact that God had helped his people in the past. Come and see what God has done. He is awesome in his deeds toward the children of men. He turned the sea into dry land and they passed through the river on foot. Whether he's talking about the exodus out of Egypt or into the promised land, on two occasions in history that he wasn't involved with, he says, come and see. He's reflecting on things that have passed and he's drawing that as an inspiration for his own situation. But then later on in verse 10 he says, for you, O God, have tested us. You tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net and you laid a crushing burden on our backs. You let men ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, and you have brought us to a place of abundance. The present circumstances you're facing may be very fiery. They may be overwhelming. You may feel like everything's flooding in on you. But God will bring his people through, as he brought the Israelites through, as he brought the psalmist through. You draw inspiration from these previous generations, just as the psalmist did. And that's the same spiritual discipline that we all must practice in order to find the resources to face the challenges. Let me tell you what God has done for my soul. He says in verse 16, I cried to him with my mouth, and high praise was on my tongue. He was praising God while he was in the pit of affliction, while the trial was still raging. He didn't stop praising. Say, I'll praise you when I'm through this. No, he's praising God all the time, a habit of praise, a continual sacrifice of praise. And here's the bit that tells us that he was tempted. In verse 18, if I'd cherished iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But truly, God has listened. He attended to the voice of my prayer. Persistent, fervent prayer is necessary for us to practice when we're going through the trial. Every time, really, all the time. Blessed be God, he's not rejected my prayer or removed his steadfast love for me. When we come through, that's really where we want to be. We've held the faith. We've stood firm. We've acted like men. And we have proved the faithfulness of God in our own experience so that we can truly sing for joy.